Hi, this is Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. And what we're going to make is cookies. We're going to make peanut butter cookies, but we're going to make peanut butter, I like to call them saucer, or you can call them peanut butter platters. And what it is it produces a very large cookie. And this cookie is really great for birthday parties, so that, especially kids' birthday parties in particular, because every child that attends the party could have their own large saucer cookie. And it's a great tasting peanut butter cookie too. You can make them, of course, any size that you want, but I wanted to do this recipe and show you how to make these very large 5.5 to 6-inch round cookies. And it's a pretty easy recipe too. So if you want to try the recipe, you might want to grab some paper and a pen or pencil, and I hopefully will go through the recipe slowly and clearly enough that you can jot it down, because I no longer put the recipe or the ingredients below the videos. So let's start off with room temperature butter. Now, if you don't have butter, you don't like butter, you can go ahead and use margarine if you want. I think you'll prefer the butter, but the margarine ones come out excellent too. So that's really up to you. So you need 1 cup, which is 1/2 pound of your butter. And like I said, I keep it at room temperature. I break it into small pieces because I think it's easier to cream that way and faster for the video. Also, you can use your hand mixer if you don't want to use your stand mixer for whatever reason. Now I'm going to warn you about the sound so that way you can make adjustments if you want, because the mixer is loud. Okay, so I'm just going to break that up and cream that. All right, the next thing that you're going to need is 1 cup of peanut butter. Use whatever brand you like or that you have. Now, if you want to use the crunchy, feel free to use that too. I'm using the creamy. So I'm putting 1 cup in there. I want to get that all out. And what we're going to do is we're going to cream the 1 cup peanut butter to the 1 cup of butter till it's smooth. Now I'm going to move it along due to the video, but you're going to spend at least a couple minutes doing that. Using a lot of speed there again to the video. I generally would beat this you know, a lot longer and at a lower speed, but I really do it always because of the video so that I don't have to bore you too long in a video. Now, once you get those two combined and they're nicely smooth and creamy, and like I said, that might take you 3 minutes, depends on the speed that you're using of your mixer. The next thing that you're going to need is 2 cups of packed brown sugar. So I'm going to put that in a little at a time and warn you about the sound. Now again, spend an appropriate amount of time to blend that together. I just want to get to the sides and the bottom of the bowl where it tends to stick. Alright, the next thing that you're going to put in is 2 eggs. I'm going to put them in one at a time, and they've been at room temperature also. both sides, because boy, does it stick. You know, you're spending a lot of time baking, and baking is expensive. So you do want them to come out well. All right, now let's work and talk about our dry ingredients. You're going to need 2½ cups of all-purpose flour. You're going to also put in 1½ teaspoons of baking soda. 1½ teaspoons. And you're also going to be putting in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. And then with my little whisk here, I'm going to give it a quick stir and start putting the flour in a little at a time at a lower speed so that it doesn't go all over me or the kitchen till it's combined. And again, take your time. Don't rush through it. I know a lot of times that you think, oh my gosh, this recipe is taking so long, you know. You really do want to just hurry things along. But you do want things to be mixed well and combined so that you're not disappointed after all that work that you've put into these cookies. Again, I'm using a higher speed only because of the video to move it along. All right, the next thing is you're going to need a cookie sheet or cookie pan. Now, these cookies, you can grease your pan. I suggest like a solid shortening. The oil sprays, I don't think really turn out real well with this particular cookie, but you can use your parchment paper or use your mats, whatever that you prefer, okay? Now you're going to, this is probably the hardest thing about this recipe, and I don't think any part of it is hard. But anyway, what I have here is just a little pan or stoneware filled with granulated sugar. And you judge how much. I probably got a cup in here, you know, maybe a little bit more. And if it's left over, I refrigerate it and then I use it for my next recipe, you know. And I'm using this particular cake pan is a 5-inch cake pan. No, I take that back. Let me see again. I just forgot. No, it is. It's 5 inches. And what I did was I took a solid shortening on the bottom of it, and then I just dipped it in sugar. Okay, so I put, you know, like I said, shortening, and then I put with sugar. Now you can use, you know, if you have the small pie plates, the bottom, that works well too. All right, the next thing that you're going to do is just let me get my paddle out of here and move that aside. I'm just going to take off the excess here, so again it's not going to go all over the counter here, and just set that aside for the moment. And I'm just going to give it another good stir and check that bottom. Okay, now the cookie dough will look like this. Oh, it will smell so good, and your kitchen will smell so good, because when you're baking peanut butter cookies, that's one thing, you have those great smells of that peanut butter baking in your kitchen. Okay, what you're going to do is, let me put that over here. You'll need a 1/2 cup, anything that holds a 1/2 cup. Now this dough is a bit sticky, okay, and you're going to feel that it's soft, and you're probably going to think, oh well, maybe I better put it in the refrigerator and chill it but you really don't want to. Now I'm also going to grab a butter knife in case I need it. Take that half a cup of cookie batter like I have, fill it to the top, okay? And now you really want to space these because they are going to spread out, okay? And then just take this. Usually it'll fall out. If it doesn't, you have to help it along a little bit. That half a cup. Like I said, usually it'll you know, pop right out. Okay. What you also want to do is keep it at least a couple inches from the edge. Otherwise it'll bake up the cookie and then it'll be shaped oddly for you. And if you have a problem, you go too close, you can move it around, okay? Now, this is when this comes in. I dip that in and then I just press it flat to the size of this pan. Now that is, as I said, how many inches. Then I just take some granulated sugar, and that's probably 1.5 teaspoons. And then I just put that sugar on top, all right? And again, space it far enough so it's not too close to the end or to others. I generally can get 3 and sometimes only 2 cookies. And I use 2 trays and alternate. Now you're going to bake these cookies at 350 and they're going to take you anywhere from 12 to 14 minutes. Now you'll know when they're ready if they have a lightly golden brown around the edges. And like I said, you can make them whatever size that you want, but they are going to spread. Now this particular cookie, as you noticed, I just used exactly the 5 inches that is, okay? Let me try another one just to show you another one coming out here. Okay. I mean, it doesn't have to be exact, you know. And then again, dip that, whatever you're using, your pie plate or whatever, and then I just squish it down to that size of my pan. Then I add my granulated sugar. Now you can use your other type of colored sugars. You can, you know, if you prefer the sugar crystals and that type of thing, all right? What you want to remember and be patient with is that when the cookies come out, you have your cooling racks ready to go, but don't try to move them right away because they will break on you when they're warm. So they do have to sit in the pan for at least 3 to 4 minutes before you transfer them to a cooling rack. Now, if you like a more traditional looking peanut butter cookie, you can use the tines of a fork, or you can actually use a cooling rack. If you have a cooling rack, and you can actually press on that to get the lines if you want. It's really up to you. I prefer not to have the markings in them. So again, once again, 350 bears repeating, 12 to 14 minutes. You don't want to overbake them. Now I'm going to just quickly wash my hands because I was working with raw egg, because I want to show you what they look like once they're baked up. Okay. And I'm going to grab an extra one here. And this is how they turn out. They make these beautiful size cookies. They have a hard finish on the top. They have a hard finish on the bottom. And you can see I purposely made 3 different sizes. That I have this particular size, then I have 1 step down, and then I have this one. And I created all the different sizes by just the pressure of that little 5 inches. that's how I made them. Smaller, large, medium, and small. Now, if you make them about this size, you probably will get 9, maybe 10 cookies. It really depends. If you make them smaller, you're going to make a lot more. But to make the large saucer or the platter cookies, like I said, at this size, about 9 or 10. And you can see how these would really go over with kids at a birthday party, that they get their own personal cookie. Now, I have one that I'm going to show you that we're going to just break so that you can see the inside. You can start to see as it pulling apart how chewy they are, how moist they are. Okay, and then I'm just going to press on them a little bit. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but how moist they are. Oh, these cookies are just delicious. They're great with a cup of coffee, a cup of tea, a glass of chocolate milk, or regular, just regular milk. And as I notice, I hope you can see as I'm pulling them apart, oh, they are absolutely delicious. You have that crunch, but then you also have that chewiness and softness. But they're not like a cake cookie. A lot of people write to me and say, you know, is this cookie like a cake? No, it isn't. It is your very traditional peanut butter cookie, but it's got the crispness to it, the firmness, yet the chew and the moisture, that they're absolutely delicious. They really are. And what's so nice is that you can make them whatever size that you want. And as I said, they're just an easy cookie to make. Now, if you try this recipe and you like it, I'd really like to hear from you. And if you do write to me, and I want to suggest for you to solely watch me on YouTube, that's the only place that I put my videos. So if you do write to me, if you do comment, I'm going to be able to answer you. And again, sorry I don't put the recipe on anymore, and I'm not alone on it, but it's not worth the time anymore when I see my work that's been claimed as others, posted and pinned, and nothing's more frustrating to see that you've got a question or a comment and I can't answer. So please watch me on YouTube, write to me, and I will get your message on YouTube. If you're so inclined and you'd like to subscribe to the channel, boy, I'd really appreciate it. And I thank all my 21,000 subscribers that have. And if you want to give the video a like, boy, I appreciate that too. So I want to always tell you, thank you for taking the time to watch Diane Lovetobake on YouTube. Stay well, stay safe, and I'll see you soon.